important flashes on your screen which have to do with HCL Tech. In fact, I understand my colleague Reema is also mic'd up. Reema, breaking news.
Yes, indeed, Nantara. This is negative news for HCL Technology. They've come out with a pre-earnings quarter update, and they've indicated that revenue growth is likely to be tepid. Two key reasons for that. One is on account of currency. While the rupee is depreciated against the dollar, and it will be a positive for margins, the problem is that the other currencies have moved adversely against the dollar, which means on the top line you're going to have a headwind, and that will hurt their top line by nearly 80 basis points. So the adverse impact of other currencies to the dollar will hurt their top line by 80 basis points, and that's quite significant. But secondly, they've come out and said that they're facing one particular client-specific issue. So one of their multi-million, multi-year custom application development project, which is being executed for one of their customers in public services vertical by HCL Technology, certain differences have arisen between the client and the company with reference to the program objective. So right now, while the company is in discussion mode with that particular client, they are in the process of disengagement, and as a matter of prudence, they will be considering a reserve of $20 million this quarter. So this will be a big negative. So it's not only going to hurt their top line on account of the cross-currency headwind, as well as this client-specific issue. It's a multi-million-dollar client as well. But secondly, this reserve will also be hurting their bottom line. And remember, Q2 is a seasonally strong quarter, so expectations were quite high. Right now, the only analysts which had come out with the expectation for Q2 was CLSA, where they're expecting a dollar revenue growth of 3.3%. Now, that looks quite unlikely, and based on these developments, the street will have to pare down their expectation for HCL Technology. You can expect the stock to react negatively tomorrow. So once again, just to reiterate, a revenue warning, a profit warning coming from HCL Technology for this quarter. They're saying the top line will be impacted because of adverse cross-currency headwinds to the tune of 80 basis points. And secondly, they're also facing one particular client-specific issue. Because of that, they will be making a provision of $20 million. So we'll have to see how that line also pans out for the future quarters. Back to you.
You know, Reema, what I wanted to understand from you was that they've set aside this $20 million, and this is for if things don't go well with this public services client.
Yes, they're setting aside a reserve provision of $20 million as of now. So we don't know what the size of this particular client is, what the quantum of engagement is. All they've indicated is it's a multi-million dollar client for them. And that one particular project which they're executing is not going well, so the company will be disengaging from the project, which means that project could be a $50 million size, a $100 million size, or perhaps just even $20 million. So we don't know that. So right now, it's only a $20 million provision that they will be making, but it directly will come through into the bottom line, I believe, for the company. So that's going to be a direct hit. And on top of that, even the currency will be hurting them.
And Reema, please hang in there. We're also being joined by Sarabjit Kaur Nangra, the VP of Research at Angel Broking. Thanks, Sarabjit, for joining us on CNBC TV 18. I've also got Reema with me. A big profit warning that's coming in from HCL Tech. They've also said things are not going well with a public services client. They've set aside $20 million. How are you reacting to this?
Definitely, it's negative news because normally HCL Tech has been is one of the leading players in the industry, but I guess it's because of the currency. So more number closely to be watched out in IT that we are also watching nowadays is volume numbers. So I guess it's a quarterly effect wherein currency is playing out, but the bigger negative is the news, I think, that they are talking about a client-specific issue. I think probably that is more worrying than currency, because currency is something which keeps on fluctuating quarter on quarter. So I think I'll be looking out for volume numbers more closely when the results come out. So
Sarabjit, this $20 million provision that they will be making, where will it come in the P&L? Will it be directly impacting the profits?
I think so. It will be taken as an expense, as for my reading is so far as of now. So I guess that will definitely reflect in terms of profitability, definitely.
What was your own assessment of what the currency impact will be on the top line in the number?
We are at as of now, we have not finalized our quarterly numbers with respect to currency, but I guess volume numbers, we are looking at a robust number coming. And I think if HCL disappoint over there, then probably there will be a cause of concern.
Sarabjit, before I hand it back to Reema, I just have a quick question. If you have HCL Tech coming out with a profit warning and saying currency headwinds is one of the issues, would you expect other IT companies to also come out and say that? Because, currency headwinds is something all the IT companies have to face with. Or do you think it's primarily because things have gone sour with one client? What I'm trying to ask is, are you expecting similar warnings from other IT companies?
Yeah, because this is, as I indicated earlier, it's more of a macro issue. It's not something company specific. The company specific issue is the client specific issue that they pointed out. So I guess definitely it is something which will bother industry also, and in some extent, because there is a sharp depreciation happen vis-a-vis dollar, and so that will, as a currency, will impact. But I guess their volume growth, how it comes out, that will be another factor to look out. And secondly, in terms of how every individual company is exposed vis-a-vis currencies will also play a role as to which company will be, impacted significantly, and which are the companies which will, though will be impacted not so greatly. So I guess in that category, Infosys should be least impacted, and others should be impacted to minimum to maximum amount actually.
Sarabjit, coming back to HCL Technology, while we take your point that the volume growth is more important, just trying to ascertain whether the currency impact of 80 basis points is more than what the analyst community had factored in.
No, I think it's more or less in line because, I think it's more or less factored in actually. I don't think there is something significantly disappointing apart from the client issue. That's what I've been saying. Then client issue is something which is more significant.
So of the two factors, currency and client specific, currency is largely priced in and expected by the street. It's the client which has come in as a big negative and will spook the street.
That's my call on the stock as of now.
Would you change your assessment of HCL Technology because of this particular development? What kind of an EPS impact would it have? A $20 million hit?
See, 20 million won't have that a great impact, but definitely there will be some pruning of the numbers. But I guess, IT pack as a whole per se is not significantly done anything great shakes in comparison to other export-oriented stocks actually. So as far as rating is concerned, currently I have buy to accumulate in most of the stocks in IT sector. So I guess that rating would not significantly change because of this development.
Okay, Sarabjit, we'll leave it at that. Nantara, with that, it's back to you.
Right, thanks, Reema. Thanks, Sarabjit, for joining us with that breaking news. So that's